I'm Vicki Hogarth and welcome to Southwest Magazine. I'm joined today by John Matheson, Linda Walsh, and Agostino McNeil from Shiretown Community Services. You might know them from their free community lunches that they offer on Fridays at the Anglican Parish Hall, as well as a multitude of holiday meals for the community and so much more. Thank you all for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Vicki.
Nice to be here.
I'd love to start off by talking, Linda and John, before we get to the amazing work you do, Agostino, about how Shiretown Community Services got started and what the mission of the organization is.
Well, a number of years ago, we decided to start a separate charity in St. Andrews, started by members of the Anglican Church, but a separate charity, a separate tax number that would allow us to do things in the community that churches can't always do, and also make us eligible for government funding that church groups are not eligible for. So it's just started from the ground up, and we've now gone ahead and done a few things, and we hope to do more.
Linda, the lunches that are offered on Fridays in the community have become an event, to say the least. I don't think I've missed more than 3. I look forward to it every Friday that I'm in town. Can you tell us a little bit about the lunches specifically? What was the idea behind it, and how did it get started?
They are very much a social hub now for the community. They initially started, we had an idea of bringing together people who had various barriers to employment and teaching them skill sets. And what we settled on was preparing a meal. And initially the proof of concept was during the pandemic, so we couldn't bring people in to eat. So the meals were prepared, packaged up in containers that could be heated in the oven, and people came and picked up their meals. And once we proved that concept, we then at the end of the pandemic continued with the meal preparation, but people could actually come and eat. So it's been really wonderful because those in the kitchen are being trained, and they're really having a blast doing that. And the benefit of having the community come in and eat the meals is that we've got people from all walks of life, some retired, some still in the workforce, some maybe money's a bit tight, so being able to have a meal that they don't have to pay for is a bonus. We deliver meals to people who are at home and can't get out, and it's just a social hub. People, they come and eat and they stay and chat, and it's wonderful.
Can you tell us a little bit about how Helen Ann Smith is involved? I know that she's quite at the helms of the operation. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I think, John, you recruited Helen Ann, didn't you?
Well, with some help of friends. She had just retired from running her own restaurant for a number of years, and we understood that she was going to enjoy a long and leisurely retirement. But we talked her into coming back, and she has a wonderful time. She's a good supervisor. She's very knowledgeable. She's firm, but very kind as well, and I think Agostino can attest to that.
Yeah. Yes.
Can you tell me, Agostino, about your experience working at the lunches? I know that we all see you on Fridays. You're out there serving and being a part of the presentation, but you're also part of the cooking process as well. What's that been like?
It's been good. It's actually brought to my eyes that I can actually cook. I don't do it at home that often, so it's funny how surprisingly you learn these things like cooking and prepping, except with the chopper, they don't use real knives. They use these nifty push down.
It's like a mandolin?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And this chopper that you just push down and stuff like that. So it's really cool, so that way you can prevent not getting any injuries.
Can you tell me a little bit about what's been your favorite part about being a part of this program?
I just love meeting with all the friends, all the people, especially the servings, a big hit and stuff like that. It's good to see people out again.
You do, just on your own, because I get a message from you to let me know in advance. if I want to plan my day, what soups I can expect on Friday.
Yes.
You cook 2 soups every week, though. Can you
Right.
talk about that? There's always a hamburger.
Yes, the hamburger is for people who it's gluten free, who can't have gluten or anything. But then we do like and it also has meat. So we do like a vegetable one for people who can't eat meat or anything like that. It changes every week. We have one soup for the gluten-free people, as I said before, and we have one soup of the day, soup of the day. Yeah.
And beyond learning how to cook, you also learn about serving and presentation.
Yes.
Tell everyone it's more than just soup. What else you can get when you come out to these community meals?
Well, you can get out of your house, you can chat with your friends, you can have some nice treats, you can get coffee and tea. Yeah.
The dessert table is often quite extensive.
Yes, yes. There's like different kinds of treats, from cookies to cupcakes to little swirly cakes. I don't know what you call that.
So this is your second season,
Yes.
part of Shiretown Community Services. How far do you think you've come in terms of skills that you didn't have when you first started to where you're at now?
Well, let's just say this: I've improved on peeling potatoes for the hamburger soup. Last year, it'd take me like 20 minutes to peel one potato.
And I think you also have some exciting news that this summer too, you were working at one of our community's
Yes.
biggest restaurants.
I was working at Char and Chowder, but I wasn't serving or anything. Yes, sometimes I would help prep food and stuff like that. I was mostly the dishwasher there for the amount of time from when it was busy, because they needed a dishwasher.
And what made you want to come back this fall and winter and be a part again of Shiretown?
Well, because Char and Chowder closed October 15th, so I have no other job, because you can't get a job down here during the winter time. So I figured come back here, so that way you can. It's good to make some money. So yeah.
Well, yes, definitely a challenge this time of year in
Yes.
our part of the world. What is the feedback, John, that you've had after over a year of doing it? Not just from people that work up as a part of Shiretown, but from the community. People like our whole team at CHCO come out every Friday. It's become a part of our weekly lives, a part of the week we really look forward to. What impact are you noticing this is having on all levels of the community?
Well, people are very supportive, and they appreciate the fact that we're helping those with barriers to employment get skills that they can then use throughout their lives, either at home. So maybe Augustine will start cooking at home at some point. Mother will be glad. Or in employment situations. We should recognize that we've been supported by the Working Together Stronger program and the Regional Development Corporation. They subsidize our wages, so all of our trainees are given a wage, and the donations that we receive at the door, which of course are not mandatory, they pay for the food, and so the food has been covered by the donations. Wages thus far have been subsidized by the provincial government.
And if someone is watching this right now and is impressed by the work that you do, is there a way to make donations, or you recommend doing them at the lunches themselves?
No, donations are always welcome, and tax receipts can be given.
Linda, from your point of view, what's the impact that you've noticed of these lunches on the community, both in terms of people that are a part of preparation to people that come out from the community?
It's a social hub that people look forward to on Fridays, and the noise level is quite high because everyone's busy chatting. The team in the kitchen, they work extremely well together. They're having fun. They all wanted to come back. The people who come to the lunches, they bring friends, they sit and chat. They're very appreciative of the meal and the variety that they get. They're also really pleased when they learn that the people working in the kitchen are all being paid. That is important to people to understand and know that they are being paid. We're, of course, are all volunteers, but all the trainees are paid, and that's really important.
You mentioned COVID-19 earlier in the show and the impact that had on a lot of us socially. Do you think, in light of that, are you seeing the impact it's had on building relationships within the community? Sometimes a lunch like that might be the only time, especially in winter, that we might get out in a small community to see that many people from our community at once.
You're right. It's made a big difference, and we've noticed that with other things that we've done, other community meals that we've done. The number of people coming out is much greater than it was prior to the pandemic. Everyone is glad to get out of the house and to be able to sit down with somebody and have a meal or a cup of coffee and talk face to face without it being through a telephone line or over a screen.
Mm-hmm. John, I was at Thanksgiving at the Anglican Parish Hall, which I want to guess there were at least 200 people that came out that day.
Close to 200, including some takeouts and deliveries that we made.
What is the feeling you have when you see something like that? The soups get quite a large number of people in general, the Friday lunches, but to feel that many people from a town of 2,000, when you think 10% are in one room celebrating a holiday together that we often think of as something you do with your family. It's quite, I had tears in my eyes, I'm not going to lie, I'm an emotional person, but it was quite a moving experience this year.
And we have people coming from outside our community. There's one family that comes from Grand Falls. Having discovered that we have these community meals, they come regularly on their days off and bring their children with them. And we have people from outside of St. Stephen, people from St. George and Penfield who make the trip not just for Fridays but also for the special meals that we provide. Mm-hmm. And it's a real, for people who are living by themselves, if you're a shy person especially, not part of any coffee group that meets regularly in town, it's an opportunity to get out and see people and just make contact with people after a long time of being by themselves.
Linda, I think there were 8 turkeys and 6 hams for Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's right, and we served a lot.
And then the leftovers go to the youth center generally.
Wow.
Debbie comes down and takes the food right away, refrigerates it, and then provides meals for the youth at the youth center here in St. Andrews, so nothing goes to waste.
Yes, any time we have extra anything, it's a quick call to Debbie and everything's taken care of.
What kind of effort goes into planning something like a community Thanksgiving, a community Christmas, a community Easter?
It starts with identifying someone or a couple who can be the lead in the kitchen, because we're very particular about ensuring everything is done appropriately. And then getting the volunteers to do all the various aspects is relatively easy. People are very willing to come out and help, and it doesn't matter if someone is with this church, that church, or no church. People just like to come out and help.
Mm-hmm. We had 30 volunteers help with the Thanksgiving turkey dinner, from advertising through to doing the dishes at the end of the day, putting things away.
It's amazing.
What's the feedback you get from those types of meals? Because I know a weekly lunch can mean a lot, but it's very hard, especially if you're alone, to mark a holiday by yourself. What's the kind of feedback you hear from the community?
It's very positive. People are so thankful to come out and have a meal and chat with people, and sometimes they bring their family with them, and other times you'll have people who are home alone or a couple, and it's a lot to cook a holiday meal for one person or 2 people, so they're just so thankful to come out. And even at Christmas time there were 2 or 3 families who agreed they would do a Christmas dinner Christmas Day, and that was a community meal, and it was wonderful too, because people again who were left alone, singles or couples, and didn't have family around, they were able to come out and celebrate in the community, and it was wonderful.
Agostino,
Yeah.
you are fairly new to town.
Yes.
How did the community lunches in particular help you build a social network here in St. Andrews, meet new people? How important have they been to? I know you're a pretty social guy.
Yeah,
I met you even volunteering right here.
You know me. No. So yeah, I just like working with other people. Some people have like a disability and stuff, but I can help them out too sometimes. And I love just, doing, I just like getting out there, helping the community, especially if it means getting paid. Yeah.
Do you notice? I notice when I go, you see people, sometimes familiar faces, but they often sit with different people week to week. So you get a chance to maybe sit beside someone that you didn't know so well. And then by a week later, they are your neighbor and friend.
Yes, yes.
You notice that too.
Yes, I do. Sometimes I actually want to say this part. Sometimes I just like to put a charm on and like joke around with them. Like, say for example, it's tomato soup, right? Someone does like construction. I say tomato soup, and then they just come running over. So I just wanted to point that. So I have to put the charm on and try to talk them into getting that soup.
Well, I think you do a very good job. You're one of the newest people I think could go by your first name only, and everyone knows who they're talking about.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Agostino is also a great volunteer because in addition to working at the community kitchen, he also volunteers at some of the other community events, and he'll come in and share his time as a volunteer as well. So that's wonderful to see too.
And why is that important to you to balance both? You do get paid, but then you also make sure to give your time too.
Like I said, I like to give to the community because the community gives back to you and stuff like that. So I just feel like if I want to get out of the house, I need to do something, not just walk around town or go to the youth center. It's just that I need to get out and do something. If it's helping with, even though I'm not getting paid, helping get with Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, dinner. So yeah, I just need to get out of that house and stuff like that.
I think one of the neatest parts about the lunches or the suppers is that there's a discreet basket by the door if you want to make a donation, but like you said, it's not something that's expected or required. And did you find that came into part of the reason why you wanted to do this? When we look at the cost of living right now, as a reporter, I can't believe how often I am even reporting on inflation and the impact it's having on even regular people's lives. Was that part of the motivation to make it by donation only? And are you seeing that impact when you offer a wonderful home-cooked meal for the community who, even your average person who works full-time can't always afford meals out anymore?
We find we do just as well with the meal is free, make a donation if you would like to, that we do just as well that way as if we set a price. And if you have a family with, say, 2, 3, 4 children, and you set a price for a meal, maybe they don't have enough to pay for everyone. So if you say the meal is free, make a donation if you can. If they have something to put in the basket, fine. And if they don't, that's fine too, but they still all get to eat and be part of the community.
I know that the work you've done has inspired other people in the community, have inspired other communities outside of St. Andrews as well to do similar things to make that kind of impact. You're a fairly new organization despite the large impact you're already having here in St. Andrews. What is on the horizon, or what are your hopes and dreams for the future of what Shiretown community can do?
One thing we're looking at is providing a permanent sheltered workplace for those who graduate from our program. Working together, a stronger program is meant to train individuals who will then go into the workforce. And as Agostino has indicated, this is a seasonal economy here in St. Andrews. So we're trying to think of something that we can do that will allow those who have been trained to continue to work. And then we'll hopefully bring others on board to train them and keep individuals going through the system so that everyone who could benefit from this program can continue to work and feel they're contributing.
And you, Linda, hopes and dreams for the future of the program?
I really am anxious to see the community lunches continue because they're just such a great focal point for the community. And over time, hopefully, we'll have people have permanent positions in the workplace. So we would be sorry to see them leave, but hopefully people can have permanent jobs, and there hopefully will also be other people that we can help along the way. And as John said, finding some permanent solutions, and we're looking at other things that we hopefully can expand on into the future as well.
If someone's watching this at home right now and they think they might be a good candidate to work alongside Agostino and the gang, how do they get in touch?
Our email address is shiretowncommunityservices@gmail.com, or they can call the phone 506-529-8662.
Or they can come to lunch on Friday.
Or come to lunch on Friday.
And Agostino, we're in the final minute of the show, but since you are a great salesman for the community lunches and community meals, I want to leave the last words with you on telling people who haven't had the chance to come out yet, or maybe have been too shy, why they should make the trip out to the Anglican Parish Hall Fridays between 11:30 and 1:30 p.m.
Well, I want to actually say this one last thing before I say that question. Sorry. What we're doing actually is in the new year. I should point this out on this show right now. All of us, like the workers, we're each picking 3 recipes to of our own to cook for you guys out there. Anyways, back to the question. Sorry, I just had that on my mind. I wanted to say that. Well, I say just come on out, check. You can't say no to free food, so come on out and chat, make new friends. Come out and chat.
Right?
Yeah.
If you haven't had the chance to meet Agostino yet, he will be there.
Yeah, I'll be happy to serve you.
And if I could just add, some people think that the meals are for people who are in need and may be struggling. The meals are for everyone. No matter where you are on the economic scale, they are for everyone in the community.
Well, we have thoroughly enjoyed coming to as many as we can, and you will see me probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cream
Thank
of
you.
cauliflower.
Yes.
Thank you all for being here today. I appreciated learning more.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vicki.
Having us. Thanks for having us.
My guests today have been John Matheson, Linda Walsh, and Agostino McNeil from Shiretown Community Services. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Thank you for watching Southwest Magazine.
Southwest Magazine is a news and public affairs production of CHCO Television.